In the heart of Texas, where the skies stretch wide and blue, lived a young woman whose laughter could light up the darkest room. Rosie McCall. At 25, Rosie was the pride of Greater Houston High School. A brilliant mind, a beautiful soul. Her students adored her colleagues respected her, and her community often whispered that she was destined for greatness far beyond the classroom. But Rosie felt empty. By all accounts, she was fulfilled. Voted best teacher 3 years in a row. A potential future mayor, if the town had their way. She had all the recognition one could wish for in America. A land where effort was rewarded, where dreams could be chased and caught. But something inside her whispered that there was more. Something deeper, something that couldn't be taught in school or won in an award ceremony. One bright Sunday morning, Rosie walked into Greater Love Church, unaware that her life was about to change forever. Pastor Dr. McCain Robinson stood tall at the pulpit, his voice echoing with spiritual authority. "Praise the Lord, church. It is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." The congregation echoed with joy, but Rosie's mind was already wandering. Then came the announcement. Our church will be sending a mission team to Nigeria, Ondo State, Owo local government. We seek volunteers and support. This is a call to serve, to bring light where it's needed most. Rosie's heart skipped. Africa, a place she had only seen in documentaries and magazines. Exotic, mysterious, beautiful, rich in history and humanity. The wanderlust she had buried under lesson plans and teacher meetings roared to life. After service, she approached Pastor Robinson. "Nigeria?" she asked, breathless. "Yes," he smiled. "A village in Ondo, a place that needs healing and hope." She didn't need more answers. She just needed the moment. "Sign me up," she whispered. She informed the school. Her principal tried to hide the disappointment, but respected her resolve. "You'll be back in a year?" he asked. "Yes," she replied, smiling through tears. The students, however, were inconsolable. "Did we do something wrong, Miss McCall?" "No, my darling," she said, embracing them. "You did everything right. But my soul, it's just looking for something more." She didn't know what awaited her in Nigeria. Red dust roads, warm sunsets, voices that sang with ancient rhythms, or the man whose eyes would hold the answers she never found in America. Rosie McCall wasn't just going on a mission trip. She was walking into destiny. When Rosie McCall landed in Nigeria, she had no idea her entire life was about to change. She came with a heart full of compassion, a soul eager to serve, and eyes wide open to the world. With a team of missionaries from Greater Love Church, Rosie left behind the modern comforts of Texas for a mission in the heart of Owo, a rural village deep in Ondo State. They stayed in a small hotel for 2 days to rest after the long journey before setting out to the village that would become her new home. A mud house, modest and quiet, became her sanctuary. But to Rosie, it was perfect. She wasn't there for luxury, she was there for purpose. Music transitions to upbeat city ambience. Meanwhile, in the bustling city of Lagos, hundreds of miles away, a young man named Boluwatife Olajuwon was grinding through his workday. Junior accountant, dedicated, handsome, humble. Boluwatife worked at one of the top banks in Nigeria. He was diligent, always early, never careless, and respected by all who knew him. Then one day, everything changed. He received a letter from his manager, a transfer notice. Manager: "Boluwatife, we're sending you to our Ondo State branch. You start next week. Take 3 days to prepare." Boluwatife didn't argue. He simply nodded. "Thank you, sir." What he didn't know was that this transfer would lead him straight into destiny. A bright afternoon at a bank in Accra, Ondo State. 2 weeks into her mission, Rosie and another missionary were sent to the city for financial matters related to their outreach. It was her first trip to the city since she'd arrived in Nigeria. She stepped into the bank, wearing a simple cotton dress, dusty sandals, and eyes full of curiosity. And then, she saw him, Boluwatife, his shirt tucked, his smile polite, his voice warm as he attended to a customer. He looked up and met her eyes. Rosie froze. Her heart skipped a beat. Her hands shivered. She couldn't speak. Boluwatife, gently: "Hello, good afternoon. Are you here to open an account?" She couldn't even form words. She just nodded, smiling awkwardly. Her fellow missionary leaned in and whispered, "Rosie, you okay?" Rosie cleared her throat. Yes, I'm fine." That day they spoke briefly, just small talk. But something unspoken passed between them. A week later, Bolawati visited the mission base, bringing supplies from the bank. He didn't have to, but he wanted to see her again. He met the local children, played soccer with them, laughed with the elders, and helped distribute food. "Rosie, I've never met anyone like him. He doesn't just say kind things, he lives them." She was living in a mud house with no running water, yet Bolawatfi visited often, never complaining, never questioning why someone like her would choose such a life. He brought her bottled water, fruits, blankets, and sometimes just his presence. He didn't know Rosie came from a wealthy American family. He didn't know she had savings that could buy her comfort. And Rosie didn't tell him. She wanted love, not for what she had, but for who she was. And Bolawatife gave her exactly that. Cue soft, romantic, instrumental music. He joined the mission program, not as a formality, but fully. He contributed financially. He assisted with local logistics. He even joined the weekend outreaches in neighboring villages. The missionaries adored him. The elders respected him. And Rosie, well, she had fallen deeply. Scene fades to a video call with Rosie's family in Texas. But not everyone shared her joy. Her parents were concerned. Mrs. McCall, worried. "Nigeria? A mud house? Are you safe, Rosie? And who is this man?" Mr. McCall, sternly. "I've heard stories, Rosie. Scams, corruption." Rosie took a deep breath. "Rosie, Dad, Mom, you raised me to see people, not headlines. Bulawatif is one of the kindest, most genuine men I've ever met. He doesn't even know how much I have. He just gives and gives." They were hesitant, but Rosie didn't stop loving. She kept showing them who Bulawatif really was. He wrote her parents letters, sent them photos of the mission. He organized a Zoom call with the entire missionary team. Pastor Robinson, smiling, "Mr. and Mrs. McCall, your daughter is safe, and Bulawatif has been nothing but a blessing to all of us." Slowly, where their hearts began to melt, Rosie's mother cried, "I just want you to be happy, baby." Rosie, softly, "I am, Mom. I truly am." Scene shifts to a celebration in Owo. The community gathered one evening for a Thanksgiving service. Rosie stood before the people she had come to love, and beside her was Bulawatif. She shared her story, her doubts, her purpose, and then she looked at him. Rosie, with tears in her eyes. "I came to Nigeria to find purpose. I found it, but I also found love. And so, under the starlit sky, surrounded by joy and humility, love crossed cultures, borders, and expectations." Rosie McCall, the Texas-born teacher, and Bolawatif Olajuwon, the diligent banker. Two worlds, one love. He didn't need to impress her with wealth, just presence. She didn't need a mansion, just sincerity. And together, they found what both had been missing. Not a perfect life, but a purposeful one. Love doesn't always come the way we expect. Sometimes it's waiting in the most unlikely places. Across oceans, inside mud houses, and between two beating hearts that choose each other again and again.